Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's Joe, and it's time for Pocket with Joe over here on Sports Grid TV. You guys all beat me here over on YouTube. Thank you for joining me here today. Sorry, we're running a couple minutes late behind. I'm going to the game tonight, and I had to find my jersey where I had put it from going to the last game. It was a little hectic, but we are here. We've got all of these games to go over. 8 games on the slate today and plenty of opportunities to make some money. I see all of your comments. Hughes and Hughes equals money. I absolutely agree. The Hughes brothers all playing in the same game tonight. We definitely have to look at a same game parlay. I did build one with anytime goal scores for all 3 brothers. Now, the likelihood of this hitting is pretty low, but you look at this, the ability for all 3 of these guys to be able to get the goals are there, especially Quinn and Jack. So if you just want to parlay those 2, Luke being kind of the odd brother out in his ability, but his odds of getting a goal today plus 700. If you combined all 3 of them together, 59-1 to your money for a Hughes brothers parlay. I don't hate it, you guys. I definitely think it is worth a sprinkle. We're going to have a great show. We're going to break down all of these games, all of my props, everything. I am liking on that. So, James, I'm going to read over that first period and total game as well. I could see that one staying under. I see what you're saying there. So, Jersey and Vancouver, everyone excited. 3-3. You guys, that is such a possibility, especially with Vancouver's defense not stepping up as much in the last couple of weeks. So, we're going to get to that. Let's firstly talk about the LA Kings. Now, the LA Kings are taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets, and this Kings team, I tell you guys, has the strongest defense in the whole league right now. They're coming in at minus 210 here on the money line, plus 172 here for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and that total is 6.5, juice to the under at minus 134. I do like this one going under the total. And I would really look at the Columbus Blue Jackets team total in this one to the under. If you do think the LA Kings are going to score enough goals to push this one over themselves, it's over 6.5 at plus 110. And now the puck lines here, the LA Kings laying 1.5 goals is plus 114. I don't hate it because I do think this is going to be a really good game for the Kings. I'm going to look at the Columbus Blue Jackets. I am going to take their team total under 2.5. That's coming in at minus 118. I like hitting that under there. I really do think that the Columbus Blue Jackets will struggle to score. Phoenix Copley is confirmed. So I have faith in him. We saw him last season, and while his numbers aren't good this season, I do think every single game he is looking like he is improving. So Phoenix Copley coming in here with a .868 save percentage, and Copley with a 3.04 goals against average. I see your messages coming in over here on TikTok. The best team right now, that is a really hard one. I love what we've seen out of the Vancouver Canucks so far this year. The Ottawa Senators are struggling. So looking at those 2 teams in Canada were my top 2 favorites. Looking at the American teams, we got such strength across the board. I really like what we've seen out of the Dallas Stars. And I know they're off that loss last night to the Maple Leafs, but the Stars have been phenomenally strong on the road, and the Leafs were in that the Lightning instant revenge game last night. So I do think the Stars are one of the hotter teams. All of these teams have the ability to go deep. And, you look at the Boston Bruins with what happened last year. Boston's still absolutely phenomenal, but you got to look at the Kings. And I know Vegas has gone on a slump, but getting back into it. But looking at this Kings team, so phenomenally strong defensively. They're allowing only that 2.29 goals per game first overall in the league, and their defense is really limiting their goaltenders shots on goal. They're holding opponents to 26.8. So I absolutely love that second overall in the league for their penalty kill as well at 89.7%. So I do think the Kings are a team you got to circle, and you got to look for this team to be able to go nice and deep. Now, Elvis is in goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight, and I do think we're going to see the Kings be able to score on him. I'm going to look at the Kings in the first period. I'm going to look at the Kings on the puck line for the full game. And I also think this is the Columbus Blue Jackets team total under 2.5. So those are the bets that I'm liking in this game. Let's move on to the next game here. We have the New York Rangers, and the Rangers, another team you have to look at as one of the top teams in the league. The Rangers coming in at minus 142, plus 118 right now for the Ottawa Senators, total 6.5. No, the 6.5 is juiced to the under at minus 128, plus 104 to the over. If you like the puck lines here, the Sens are too highly juiced at plus 1.5 at minus 205, but you can look at the New York Rangers laying that 1.5 at plus 168. I think this is a great game to really circle the Rangers in this one. I like what we're seeing out of this team. They are playing phenomenally strong, and Igor Shesterkin is confirmed in goal tonight. Now, they're not home in the Garden. When we look at these matchups, these teams really that home ice has played the road ice has played a factor. So I'm not too concerned about that. We have seen the Ottawa Senators actually be able to have success versus the New York Rangers, but that success has come in the Garden. Now they got a win over the Seattle Kraken in their last game out 2-0, and we see the New York Rangers rolling in here, winning their last 3 and 8 of their last 10. So this team is rolling hot. They had the Sharks on Sunday. They got a 6-5 win though, and then they had the Predators and a 4-3 win, and then the Red Wings in the game prior 3-2. So all of their games are within that one goal, which I don't absolutely love. They have the Capitals on deck on Saturday, so they have some rest after this one. I do think the Ottawa Senators will be able to keep this one tight. I'm looking for a really strong defensive game out of both of these teams. We've seen the Sens defense really step up in these last couple of games as well. So I'm looking for a lowest scoring one. But that being said, I do think you can look at Panarin here for the New York Rangers to go over on his points tonight. And I'd look at him for the power play points, because if you just take him for the point, you're going to lay way too much juice. For the power play point, you can, for 2+ points, it's plus 144. For the power play point, it's plus 120. So I do like the power play point over the 2+. Now, Adam Fox, you could also look at him for the point tonight, but it's juice. So you'd have to parlay it with someone at minus 156. We know he's a strong offensive defenseman out there on the ice. And if you're looking for someone for the Ottawa Senators, we got to circle Brady Tkachuk. But again, the juice you're laying on Brady Tkachuk is too much at minus 164. And you look at this total to that under, and another reason I like it, you look at the Ottawa Senators and what they've done in their last 5 games, only managing 9 goals in those 5 games. So the goals on average over those last 5 is only at 1.8. So I do think this is another one they struggle to score, especially on Igor. We got Forsberg expected in goal for the Ottawa Senators as well. Forsberg coming out here with a .882 save percentage and a goals against average of 3.03. The power plays are strong on both of these teams. So that's why I'm really circling the Rangers for their power play points, especially with Panarin here. They're converting on 30% of their power plays, and we have a weak kill for the Senators at 73.4%. So when you're looking at those props, look at those power plays, you guys. I definitely think that is coming in. Let's cash some tickets is right. This is going to be a great night for making some money. You're looking at the LA Kings and Columbus Blue Jackets over 6, and the New York Islanders game and San Jose Sharks over 5.5, and the Buffalo and Detroit game over 6.5. I do agree with you on some of those for sure. Okay, let's move on to the next game here. We have the San Jose Sharks. That's the one we just mentioned there, taking on the New York Islanders. Now, this is a really interesting one. We know the Sharks finally got over that hump and got that win on the road. And if you were with me for their last game, I'm kicking myself because I did take the San Jose Sharks in the first period, and they weren't able to win the first period, and I didn't put any money on them for the full game, which I should have, because they came out and they got the win in the full game in that one. Now they're facing the New York Islanders, and the New York Islanders home off a road trip tonight. They're a $3 favorite here, and I can't get behind a $3 favorite for the New York Islanders, even at home in this one with Sorokin in net. That total of 5.5, minus 120 to the over. I do think this one has the ability to go over. If you like the San Jose Sharks straight up on the money line, plus 245 to get the win. Now you can play it safer, plus 1.5 on that puck line at plus 108 for the San Jose Sharks. And if you think the Islanders are going to do what a lot of teams have done to the Sharks team, laying the 1.5 on FanDuel right now is minus 132. Looking at this matchup, this is the last 9 games we look at for the Islanders. They've only lost 1 in regulation. So this team has been playing phenomenally strong. Sorokin has 2 shutouts on the season, and he's got a 3.09 goals against average and a .914 save percentage. My problem here with the Islanders is how they allow their goaltenders to be absolutely peppered. Um, allowing an average of 35.8 shots on goal per game. Now, their kill is weak as well at 72.6%. The Sharks come in here with all of a sudden this new energy. Yes, their stats are all absolutely terrible, except for their power play. We actually see a solid power play out of the San Jose Sharks at 19.1%. Everything else, they're 31st or 32nd overall in the league. So at the bottom, they're allowing the goals. They're struggling to get the goals. Thomas Helto is leading them 4 goals. He's got 4 goals, 14 assists, and 49 shots on goal. So if you're looking at Hurdle here to be able to come out and put up the points tonight, he's definitely one I would circle. Now, on the other side, Bo Horvat here for the New York Islanders, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Anytime goal for him tonight is plus 175. Now, he has 7 goals and 11 assists on the season, and he's riding a 3-game point streak. So Horvat, definitely someone you want to look at. I do think this one goes over that total of 5.5. And what I'm going to do in this, I don't know if I can trust again the Sharks for the full game. Winning 2 back-to-back games, or sorry, they didn't win the last one. They were facing the Rangers in the last game. That was a 6-5 loss. So still, they put 5 goals on the New York Rangers, who kind of overlooked them. I'm expecting these goals to come in on Sorokin today. So give me the over 5.5. I'm going to look at the Sharks to score the first goal in the first period. I love this. So you could look at them on the Sharks first period on the money line, but I do think we're going to see this first period go over 1.5. The over 1.5 is coming in at minus 108. I'm going to bank on the Sharks to score that quick first goal. Like I said, the Islanders coming home from a road trip. They were on the road for 3 games. I think this is a nice opportunity for the Sharks to come out, get one quickly past Sorokin. So first period, first goal for the San Jose Sharks is plus 210. So that's where I'm going, and the over 5.5. Okay, last 3 meetings between the Kings and the Columbus Blue Jackets went to OT. It is a nice way to look at that one to go to OT, Kelly. I like where you're going there. I know you guys taking the Islanders here against the Sharks. If you just keep fading the Sharks, it's definitely going to make you money. Okay. Let's look at the next one. The Detroit Red Wings taking on the Buffalo Sabres. The Detroit Red Wings at minus 128, minus 106 for the Buffalo Sabres. Over 6.5 at minus 120, under at minus 102. I am afraid to take this one to the over, and this one makes so much sense to go to the over, but here is my problem with the over in this one. I think if you want to bet a total, you look at the Red Wings team total to that over. We know this team is going to be able to score on Combrey in net for the Buffalo Sabres. Combrey coming in with a 3.99 goals against average and a save percentage of .864. Looking at the Red Wings, this team is getting those shots on goal. They have a really strong power play, 8th best overall in the league, converting at 23.55%. They're averaging 3.74 goals per game and 30.2 shots on goal. I have full confidence in this team offensively to be able to get the goals. My lack of confidence in the Buffalo Sabres comes because of the goaltending matchup here. Leon is in goal tonight for the Detroit Red Wings. And now he has looked phenomenal so far in the limited games he's played for the Red Wings. He's got a 1.26 goals against average, a save percentage of .958. He's been so solid for this team that there's no way that I can sit here and really believe the Buffalo Sabres are going to give us the share of the goals to push this one over. So you can look at the Red Wings team total over 3.5 to get 4 goals here on Eric Combrey. It is coming in at plus 140. So the over 3.5 team total, the Red Wings, I like in this one. I do think also when we look at those odds on this, minus 128, it's moved up a couple of points here, but minus 128 is a fair spot on the money line for the Red Wings. Dylan Larkin is back in the lineup, and we know how emotional things have been for the Larkin family. So my prayers do go out to him. I do think him back in this lineup is hugely impactful. I think you can look at him for the power play point tonight. The power play point for Dylan Larkin coming in at plus 130. He's such a phenomenally strong player. And the power play is so strong here for the Red Wings. When we look at the Buffalo Sabres, we know they're going to be scrappy at home. We know they're going to get in that box. And their kill, while it is strong at 81.5%, I do think we can see Dylan Larkin be able to get a power play point. Now, Alex DeBrincat, someone else you want to look at here for the Red Wings, and Patrick Kane's still out. Can't wait till he's able to get back on the ice. Tage Thompson is back in the lineup tonight, which is hugely impactful for the Buffalo Sabres. So if you are leaning to the over 6.5, Tage Thompson is a player you can look at here that can help you get to that number to the over. I would look at him if you do believe that he comes out strong today for the anytime goal. Um, the kill here has been, and I mentioned the kill for the Sabres at 81%. It has been strong, but as of late in those last like 4 or 5 games, it has been actually really weak, you guys. The opponents have been converting at like a really high rate, like 51, 52% on their power plays in the last couple of weeks on the Detroit Red Wings, or the last couple of games. You know, you're looking at 4 or 5 games. We're seeing that conversion come in. So a little worried here with the Sabres' ability to kill the power play here that is so strong, 23.55% for the Red Wings. So it's the Red Wings for me in this one. Let me know what you guys are thinking in this one as well. Yeah, Leon has been a really nice backup goalie. I like what we've seen out of him. Yeah, Touche is still out, and Tage Thompson is in. So not sure really what's going on around there for these teams. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next game. We're flying through these games today, guys, with the Nashville Predators taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, the Blackhawks, great plus money at home, plus 155 on that money line, and sign me up all day long. Yes, this team is on a losing streak, and I do think the Predators are a better team, but I can't look past a young, hungry Chicago Blackhawks team. We know the controversy that's been going around, and Connor Bedard must be so pissed with what is happening. They haven't been home for the last 3 games. They've lost all of those 3 games on the road. Look for them to get things right here versus the Preds. Minus 188 if you do like the Predators, but plus 155 if you like Chicago. Total 6.5. Choose to the under at minus 132. Plus 108 to the over 6.5. Now, Saros is confirmed here for the Nashville Predators, 3.05 goals against average and a .900 save percentage. And Sonderblom confirmed here for the Blackhawks, 3.71 goals against average and a .883 save percentage. When we look at these teams, you know, there's not huge special teams advantages for either team, in my opinion. I think they kind of wipe it out. My problem is here, I don't trust the defense of the Nashville Predators. They give up way too many high danger shots. So I'm not liking what I'm seeing out of this team. And I think a young, hungry team that's lost their last 3 games, especially with that last loss to the Wild, they were only able to get 1 goal, is the way that I want to go in this one. So Blackhawks money line, they also home ice has been huge. We look at the home ice here. 2 of their last 3 games at home, they have won. It's so funny. You know, you go on TikTok and people say, get off my page. Get off my page. Don't follow me here. That's just my message out to the TikTok trolls that come on. So, and Matt, I love where you're going with Connor Bedard for that first goal at plus 100 or 900 if you like him, just for the anytime goal that's coming in at plus 165. We know Connor Bedard comes out, and if you just take him for those first goals every time, I do think you would make so much money. The Chicago Blackhawks plus 1.5. Yeah, it is juicy at minus 162. But if you're looking to parlay that with something, I do think it would be worth parlaying. I think they can win this one, though. So it would be a nice way to go. Kelly going with Chic offensive struggles, Nashville Parquise points, minus 150 parlay piece, and Ryan O'Reilly. Yeah, you got to look at Ryan O'Reilly too. I like where you're going with that, Kelly. It is a great way, and you're going to lean under in that Detroit game. Yeah, and I could see why. The under is just the Detroit Red Wings goalie, I do think, is an it factor there for that game. So if you like Philip Forsberg here for the Predators, he's plus 125 for the anytime goal. Ryan O'Reilly at plus 185, and Connor Bedard, like Matt said, for the first goal, plus 900 over on DK, and on FanDuel, you can get Connor Bedard anytime goal at plus 165. I do think all of those are great bets. The Minnesota Wild taking on my Calgary Flames. You guys are going to be at this game tonight and wish my Flames a lot. Now, great news. AHL goalie Wolfie, Dustin Wolf, I call him Wolfie, has been brought back up for this game. Jacob Markstrom I don't know what is happening with him. He left practice. He got hit by a puck into his right hand. They're not telling us what the real injury is. I don't know if it broke his hand or what happened. So I don't think we're going to see Markstrom for a while. Dan Vladar is the starting goalie in net, but I tell you, I would love to see Wolfie get in. Looking at Vladar, though, I don't think he will, because Vladar, while he has a 3.20 goals against average and a .883 save percentage, he's coming off the best game so far for him this season. He stopped 27 of 28 shots on goal in the last game out in Calgary's win over the Vegas Golden Knights. So I do think we can see another strong performance out of Dan Vladar, and Wolfie will sit on the bench, but at least, we get him coming up here. I like what we're seeing out of this young kid from the AHL. Now, talking about AHL players, Connor Zary, he has been a spark for this offense. Anytime goal for Connor Zary coming in at plus 370. I do think there is value in that, but we got to look. Who is the stir, or what's the saying? Who is the straw that stirs the drink, the stick that's it. The straw that serves. I don't know, you guys. I was trying to say a metaphor. Mackenzie Weegar here for the Calgary Flames has been absolutely pivotal for this team. You can look at him for 3+ shots on goal tonight. That's coming in at -114. Again, offensive defenseman here. He's been playing so incredibly strong. His anytime goal tonight is at +650. I don't hate it, you guys. I do think Mackenzie Weegar can be nice and strong in this one. Now, looking at his total goals, 6 goals and 7 assists in 24 games. He's averaging 2.6 shots on goal per game and 2.3 block shots per game as well. So if you can play around with that blocked shot market, it's not available yet on FanDuel, but I know other books do have it. Looking at him for 3+ block shots on goal, I do like tonight, because we know these players are going to give extra support with Dan Vladar and not Jacob Markstrom in net. Now, looking at this total, this is a hard one. And let's actually pull up current odds. I haven't told you guys current odds on this one. This is a pick, a -110 on both sides of the puck. The total of 6.5. I know there's not many Flames fans as we're seeing on TikTok. There's not many of us. It's a hard season for us Flames fans. It was last season too. Total 6.5 at -118 to the under, -104 to the over. If you like Calgary on that puck line, it's just way too juicy. +1.5, -260. I wouldn't even put it in a parlay. Like the Minnesota Wild to have a huge win, laying the 1.5 on the puck line is +210. Now, we know, looking at these teams, Minnesota had the coaching change, and this team has come to life. They've won their last 3 games, and they've been locking down defensively. So we've seen major improvement on the defensive side of the puck. So when you look at their overall seasonal numbers, it really isn't a true representation of what this team is able to do defensively, allowing an average on the season of 3.55 goals per game and 30.4 shots on goal. But we have seen them really lock down. They are still putting up the goals, averaging 3.14, but they like to play a game where they get up and then they drop back and play defense. I do think we could see that in this one. And while Dan Vladar is hot right now, coming off a hot game, I definitely could see this being a game where the Minnesota Wild score first, and then Calgary has to play catch up. So the Minnesota Wild to score first in the first period is coming in at +130. Now, why I'm not just taking them on the puck line in the first period, because I could see this one being 2 goals, both teams scoring in that first period, or just being the Wild getting the scoring. So the over 1.5, I do think, is in play. But for the full game, I actually think this one stays under that total. So higher scoring first period, lower scoring game. It's going to be an absolute battle out there. But we look at these two teams right now. These offenses aren't doing as strong as I would like to see them, but they do have really strong blue lines on both sides of the puck. And like I said, the Wild's defense has just been stepping up as of late. They are 3-7 in their last 10 to the over and under. So games majority of those staying under that total. Calgary has won 6 of the last 10 matchups versus them. I just don't know if they can get it done in this one tonight. It's going to be an absolute battle. So give me the Wild to score first. Mackenzie Weber, 3+ shots on goal, -114. Sprinkle on the anytime goal at +650. And the under is where I'm going. The over 1.5 in the first period. And you can look at Connor Zary for the anytime goal at +370. 2 games left to go over, you guys. We're going to talk about the Ducks here. The Ducks coming in at +220, taking on the Colorado Avalanche at -275. Puck line on the Avs -1.5 at -114. Total 6.5 at -110. Looking at the Ducks in this situation, I know they just got the win on the second, 4-3 in a shootout game, but I tell you, the Avs are coming for instant revenge tonight. They've won 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two, and Georgiev expected in goal. I'm looking for this one to be a hot start right out of the gate, out of the Colorado Avalanche. Give me the Avs on the puck line in the first period, laying the half a goal at +108. Puck line full game, laying the half a goal at -114. And the Ducks, I think they absolutely struggle to score in this one. Give me their team total under 2.5 at -124. I'm expecting the defense here, the Colorado Avalanche, really to lock down. Their kill is hitting 85.6% of the time. And we know there's a strong power play here for the Ducks at 21.8. I just don't see it being able to convert in this one. This team also takes too many penalties, and I expect them to be in the box a lot in Colorado. And the Colorado Avalanche will be able to take advantage of their weak power play their weak penalty kill, which only is only hitting at 79.4%, while the Avs are converting at 20.2%. So special teams here. It is day-to-day for Cale Makar to be in the lineup, but with or without Cale Makar, this is a stronger, deeper team. The Ducks were lucky to get that win. They don't trust their defensive unit, and I think they do have a lack of depth in this matchup. So power play points maybe here for the Avs. You can look at Nathan McKinnon. I like this one as well. Okay. Calgary to score in the first period. I do like Calgary Chase to score in the first period. I do think the Minnesota Wild score the first goal. That is for sure. Okay, Kelly, never heard that one, Joe. Enjoy the game. Over 1, -130 in the first period. I do think we could just see one goal, though. It's crazy what is going to happen in that game. So let's look at the last game on deck. The New Jersey Devils versus Vancouver Canucks. This is the one we started off talking about. The Hughes brothers all in action in the same game. I wonder if their parents are going to be at the game and which one they're rooting for. Now, if you look at statistically, the best Hughes brother probably is Jack, and then Quinn, and then Luke. So I think Luke probably has a bit of a chip on his shoulder going into this game. If you want to take a huge flyer plus a 700 for Luke to get the anytime goal, I love it, you guys. We know he's been pivotal in some of these other games. So this is a pick of -110 on either side, 6.5, -134 to that over. If you think low scoring, +110 to the under, this one to take under is a hard one. I understand why you'd look at the under, and I think if it's a dead under, it's because Demko stands on his head and the Devils struggle to score. But my problem here with the under is Vanacek I can't trust, and the Devils offensively have some elite firepower, talent across the board. You don't just have Jack Hughes. You have Timo Meier, Jasper Bratt. The list just keeps going for this team, and I can't sit here. And even their second line, like Nico Hero and everyone like this, there's so much talent. Palat as well. So to take it under, I can't get there. I would stay off the total I'm staying off the total. Actually, I'm just going to stay off the total. Maybe Vancouver's team total if you do like an over, because we know Vanacek hasn't been as strong in goal. He's got a 3.49 goals against average and a 0.879 save percentage. Now, the Devils are allowing 29.4 shots on goal. Their kill is weak at 75%. So I can see definitely Vancouver being able to get these goals. The question mark is for me, can the Devils score on Demko, or is Demko at home going to be phenomenally hot? And that's not something I like to completely ride. I could see this one being 4-2 and that way staying under the total here. But What I want to see is I want to see a 5-4 game, you guys. I want a high scoring one. I like our ability then for all Hughes brothers to be able to get goals. Now bet them outside of that parlay. Like I said, when you parlay Luke Hughes, Jack Hughes, and Quinn Hughes, all for an anytime goal, 59-1. Bill Krakenberger, thank you for joining me here. What an honor to have you joining me on this. So all three of them, you parlay them together. The chances of this hitting are like this big, you guys. But I wanted to have a little bit of fun with that. I would look at Quinn Hughes. We know how phenomenally strong he has been at getting those goals when they count. Again, a strong offensive defenseman. Plus 450 here for Quinn Hughes. Looking at Jack Hughes, plus 135. We know he's so phenomenally strong for the New Jersey Devils. And you can look at his shots on goal, but you're going to have to take it all the way up to 5+ shots on goal to get any value in this game. Luke Hughes, he's on the number 1 power play. So if he's plus 700 to get a goal, probably won't get it, you guys. But to get an assist or a power play point, and I like the power play point better, is something I would look at in this game. I do think we can look at all three of these guys to be able to register a point as well, especially Luke on the power play. So it's going to be a fantastic game. I'm hoping for a high scoring one, especially with Doug Hamilton out for the New Jersey Devils, strong defenseman here. It's going to give Vancouver more opportunities. And that's why also I like Vancouver's team total over that for 3.5 is their team totals. Now, looking at that total for the over 6.5, 7 of the last 10 games for the Devils have gone over that total. And the Canucks, 6 of their last 10 have gone over as well. I know Vancouver's goaltender is so elite, but this one I do think goes over that total. Okay, you guys, that is everything for tonight. I want to wish you guys all the best in all of your bets, all the best on the ice tonight and everything else you're betting. You know, we've got like 60 college basketball games on the card today, a couple in the NBA as well, in these 8 games on the ice. So best of luck in everything you're betting. I know people betting soccer and cricket and darts and everything else out there. So you guys make sure you check out the Sports Grid app. You can follow all of your favorite hosts over there as well. It's actually really cool. There's clips from the shows under your favorite hosts, and you get notifications and all of that. Picks, props, and previews on there as well as shorts for what is happening on those days, on those games under your hosts. So you guys, let's make some freaking money on the ice tonight. I want to wish you guys all the best. We will be back here tomorrow, 5:30 Eastern. Again, check out the Sports Grid app. Don't miss out and cheer for my Flames tonight. Let's have a miracle. The Flames actually beat the Minnesota Wild while I'm there. Okay, bye guys.